All right, welcome back. We are going to do a full electronic test on Kevin's final test. Let me turn some overhead lighting on just for a second before we get started here. All right, I went ahead and swapped his board out because the one of the functions was not working correctly, which is on the startup sequence. The forward nacelle spotlights weren't coming on as well. They were coming on, but they were staying on, and they weren't responding to any commands. So verified that they were working properly by hooking it up to the pylon floodlights, and they came on at the same time as the pylon floodlights, which is telling me that they were fine. Anyway, long story short, I'll be sending that board back to Big Easy so they can check that T2 control out and make sure it's all working okay. So, but hopefully, as you can see, I just have everything temporarily, and I'm going to have the ship, obviously upside down for this final test, but I should get a good sense that everything is working properly, even in this configuration. One note about this build is it's going to be done in two stages. Stage one is me doing the ship, obviously, wiring the ship, making sure the ship functions work correctly, and then wiring the base, installing the electronics into the base, and getting everything, getting the cable management, wire management, everything all secure. I'm using this terminal block to try to ease connections a bit. So all this is going to, as soon as I get done with this light and function test, then I go to work on the display base and get everything secured inside and ready for Kevin, who's going to receive it in two stages or in two boxes. He's going to get the base shipped back to him, and he's getting the ship back to him. And he is going to devise a plan to mount the ship to the display. Because we ran into some difficulties on the initial design of this display, so pretty much I'm on serious time constraints at this time. So we're gonna hand it off to Kevin, and he's going to finish up that part of the build, which is kind of disappointing because I won't get to see in person the final display with the ship on the display and everything. So that's a little disheartening, but I'm sure it'll all work out. So anyway, as I said, we're going to do a final. I think this is part 4 of this refit control or electronics test. And I did receive a new sound card from Big Easy that Kevin requested, so that has been installed already. And trying to think of anything else. No, and another thing too. As soon as we are done here, then before I start the display base tidying up and electronics, she gets packed because I want to try to overnight this. Send it out tomorrow overnight, hopefully. That's plan A anyway. I'm a little worried. I've only done 4 of these refits compared to my, I think, 37 TOS over the last 4 years. And this is a good design kit. However, it's not as solid a kit as the TOS. I ship the TOS as long as I know that I've done my packing like I do. Then I'm confident that it's going to get there in one piece, and it has 37 times. The TOS or the Refit or the A is a bit different. The pylons and the nacelles are way more fragile than the TOS. You wouldn't think they would be, but they are. And the way I ship is it goes in the shipping container just like it sits here now, inverted. So I'm going to have to devise some cushioning a little bit better than I have prior, because I did have on my very first refit that I lost, we had a nacelle snap off its pylon. Now granted, that one went to England and there was a lot more handling involved, but still that shouldn't have happened, but I do know why it did happen. If on the TOS, the nacelle or the nacelles and the saucer are pretty much flush with each other, so they sat down on the foam in the crate evenly. Well, I didn't take into account that on the refit, I'm going to say that the nacelles are higher. I know we're upside down. So therefore it teeter-totters, if you will, and rests more on the nacelles, and most critically at an angle. So what I'm going to have to do is build up some styrofoam or some furniture foam, whatever, mattress foam, whatever you want to call that, mattress pad, and make sure that I build up underneath the saucer and make sure that these are nice and flush and not dipping down at an angle like it is now. You can't tell, but it is. And that's going to put undue stress here in the front part here of this nacelle and pylon, and that is exactly why the one snapped mostly here. And it wasn't a pretty picture. So I'm hoping to avoid that. I'm worried about it. I'll be pacing the floor. I mean, the other three were fine. Of course, they weren't going near as far, and I think I even hand-delivered one. But and this one is going to Utah. So, but it is going to be overnighted, so we can reduce the amount of handling that it goes through. All right, so I guess enough of that. So I just want to point out that the design is a bit more fragile compared to the TOS, in my opinion. But all right, so we're going to do a function test, final function test of this refit, and if everything checks out, we're going to disconnect everything. Now, I'm going to go ahead and leave the large labels on the wires coming out of the ship, but Kevin may want to, one at a time, swap these out for a smaller tag, because he's going to have to feed all these through the display top down into the base. He's going to have a couple people help him with this, but he's pretty confident that they'll be able to handle it. This is why I'm trying to simplify the connections, and I've made sure that he has plenty of wire that will reach to the center of the display base to reach everything. So I think he'll be fine. And like I said, these will all get secured inside the display after the test is over with. And with the Big Easy kit, we've got you got your main control board, you've got your sound card and your soundboard. And I'm going to throw a, I don't know if I have it with me here, but anyway, Paul from Big Easy sent me a stereo jack that's going to be actually like this, but only on the other end of it, it's going to have the plug, which is going to be mounted in that hole, and that's where the stereo, Kevin's surround sound stereo jack is going to plug in. All the power for the board and the ship is coming off this this power supply here, which is a 12 volt 5 amp. Plenty of power to run everything. So that should be fine. I'll probably recommend that he do some type of ventilation, so he does get some type of airflow into the display base. It's pretty shallow, so there's not a lot of space in here, and it's going to heat up rather quickly, I think. And so all he needs to do is get a couple of those micro PC fans and put 2 on each end and have them push pull, and he should be fine. Just as long as there's some air moving in there, I think he'll be fine. All right, so let's go on with a full light test on this. I'm going to run through some sound bites as well to make sure those are all working properly. And I'll one thing I won't be able to do because I just don't have time, but I will do a basic check though, is I won't be able to do the visual lasers, because we do have lasers in this, and I drilled out the forward phaser banks for that. What I think would be cool, I don't know if there is enough room in the ship to do it. Probably not. Maybe on the bigger one, like the DeBoer's refit. But I think it would be really cool, probably expensive, but very, very cool, is to have lasers in each one of the phaser banks that's on the ship, and you can control randomly which phasers are firing. So, William Mann, if you're listening, if I ever fork out the money for a DeBoer's refit or some up-and-coming garage kits that might be released soon, might be giving you a call, and we'll be working on that. So anyway, just food for thought. Let's proceed with a full test here so we can wrap this up, because I've got to get... I probably won't mess with the bass tonight because I'll be sending that to him separately. But after this test, I got to get started on the packing process for Kevin's refit. All right, so let's press on. We're going to do main power. Hopefully everything is going to work just fine tonight. I'm going to turn it off again. All right, that sound is a good sound. So, okay, main power again. Here we go. So now we have, I might dim the lights for this, but no, I think it looks pretty good. As you can see, Kevin wanted a little bit of weathering on this because we're pretty much on the same page as this is a... I'm not going to say it's a white ship, but it is a very light finish. I mean, us in the modeling community, we're calling it white, but I think realistically it's probably not white. So therefore, it's going to show some wear and tear because there were some long, I don't want to sound like a geek or anything because I know it's a fictitious ship, but going by the movies and the missions, there was quite a bit of time in between refits, so it's going to show some wear and tear. Now this would be prior Wrath of Khan damage, but end of the motion picture wear. So that's what we're basing this on. So, and I really like the evenness of the interior lighting. came out pretty well. Yeah, these aren't light blocked behind there, which I didn't do because the thrusters with the Big Easy kit, they stay on all the time anyway. So you're going to see light bleed from the main lights here. So I'm fully aware of that. Okay, so we got main lighting. Looks like everything's working. Yep, shuttle bay is on. So let's proceed with the dry dock startup, and we'll check and see everything in its startup mode. Now, what I'm concerned with on this test and what didn't work on the last board was the already we're doing better, because last time the spotlights on the nacelles would come on as soon as I applied power, and I couldn't shut them off. So already we're doing better. But we're going to see if they start up in the right sequence. I think it's supposed to work from tail of the nacelles forward. So everything, it should just like a wave. So it should be whatever goes on back there. That should spots, pylon floods, neck flood, the Raytheon on the neck, all the way to the planetary sensor floodlights, and then we won't see it, but then the bridge spotlight, and then lastly should be the nav or the formation lights. So let's see if that happens. Let's proceed with that. I think I'll cut down the lighting a little bit.
Control reports ready, sir.
Fingers crossed here.
Ready, sir.
Because I want to.
Departure on plot, sir. Yard command signaling clear, sir.
I want to pack this dude up. Here we go. Let's see if it's going to work.
Thrusters at station keeping, sir. Thrusters ahead. Take us out.
The crystal is working.
Set bridge. Impulse power at your discretion.
Impulse power, Mr. Sir. Ahead, warp 0.5.
Let's go to warp mode, and we change modes by hitting 0. Floods are off. Spots are off. Got a little, got the cloudy sky or the blue sky decal up above the arboretum. Don't forget we're looking at it upside down. So that looks really nice in there. Okay, so far so good. We got warp mode working correctly. Looks like everything is off that's supposed to be off during warp. That's good. Notice it is screen accurate. If you notice, and I'm sure if they had it to do over again, they wouldn't do it. But even during warp, the thrusters are staying on. Just like, at least I know Rapid Con, they do that. But anyway, let's see if we can go out of warp mode now. Let's go back to, I guess, impulse. I don't know. Or normal. Chiller should cut off. And deflector is the impulse mode on the orange mode on the deflector dish is really not as brilliant as I would like, but it is working. I don't remember the resistor that I used for that. It's really a little bit too late to go in there and change that resistor now. It can be done, but I think it looks very good as it is. So I've seen it overdone so many times, that's for sure. All right, so that's a good function test then so far. Looks like we got everything. I'm going to run through a couple controls. You can control some of the lighting on this. Like, for example, you can turn off some of the spotlights and floodlights individually. I have a cheat sheet here, so bear with me. Spotlights, rear nacelle, pylon spotlights. Okay, so we can do planetary sensor spotlights. And you won't be able to, well, yeah, you will. Then do the bridge. Turning the bridge spotlights on and off. So cool. You can play with a couple things. So it's. And what else? That seems to be working. Let's see. I guess we could do weapons check real quick. Like I said, I'm not going to do any kind of misting or any type of smoke right now, but we're just going to go through the functionality tests of that. So let's check weapons. Let's do phasers. I think this is phasers. You can see that they are firing. And we have photons. Whoops, sorry. Photons are working. Awesome. Good. Let's see what else. We did the spotlights. Oh yeah, you can turn let's see. Nav and formation lights, you can turn those off. Don't know why you would want to, but it's there. Let's turn them back on. There we go. And I think that's really about all the cool stuff. I'm going to see if the sound bites are working. This is a new SD card that I was sent, so we'll see what's on here.
This is damn peculiar. Yellow alert.
Energize defense fields.
I'm getting a voice message. They say their chamber spoil is overloading their comm system.
Spot. Scanning. The twin emissions are normal.
They still haven't raised their shields.
Raise ours. Machines are going up.
Lock phasers on target. Locking phasers on target.
They're locking phasers. Their shoots.
Someone get those shields off. Try, sir.
I'm just going to go through them. I'm not going to play the entire soundbite.
Stand by to receive our transmission. Soon, lock phasers on target and await my command. Phasers locked.
Time's up.
Here it comes. Now, Mr. Spock. Sir, our shields are dropping.
Raise them. I can't.
Where's the override?
The override.
Fire! Fire!
Some engine noises, startup sound.
He's talking about logic. We're talking about universal Armageddon.
Khan, you've got Genesis, but you don't have me. You are going to kill me, Khan. You're going to have to come down here. You're going to have to come down here.
I've done far worse than kill you. I hurt you. And I wish to go on hurting you. I shall leave you as you left me, as you left her. Alone for all eternity in the center of a dead planet.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Con.
No, you can't get away.
Sir, the mains are back online.
Scotty, go through.
Okay, now it really doesn't change to warp by itself. Yeah, I did that manually, so something cool you can play with, though.
We are assembled here today.
Okay, I'm not, like I said, I'm not playing the whole track here.
Scanning an energy source on Reliant.
Well, this is a fine place you have here, Dr. Gecko.
Thank you. Uhura?
Nothing, Captain. If she's here, she's rigged for a silent wedding.
I can see you, Kirk.
Chang.
Can you see me? Oh, now be honest, Captain. Warrior to warrior. You do prefer it this way, don't you? As it was meant to be. No peace in our time.
What's she waiting for?
Probably attempting to ascertain why we are reversing. Wondering whether we detect her.
You think?
The game's afoot, huh? Fire!
Okay.
Captain, the intruder has been attempting to communicate. Our previous transmission mode was too primitive to be received. I'm now programming our computer to transmit lingua code at their frequency and rate of speed.
You do that.
It would seem our friendship messages have been received and understood, Mr. Spock.
Spock,
Yes.
about those colorful metaphors that we've discussed?
This is Dan the Killer.
Okay, I think we get the gist on that.
I see your point.
Thank you. Okay, so that's it. She's working. I'm taking her down. I'm packing her up. It's been a stressful... Well, it's always stressful when it comes to dealing with these electronics. It's hit or miss sometimes, whether something will go wrong on the inside. But if you know you're covering your bases and checking your polarity and everything as you go, you should be fine. So, and I've done so many, it's just second nature now just to do that. So, and it's working fine. It's paid off to be careful and go slow. And now it's in the hands of the shipping gods. We'll just have to pace the floors until this thing gets to Utah in one piece. All right, so we're going to close this off, and I've got 2 or 3 more refits right behind this one, plus I am also doing a mirror enterprise for a client. So I'll be starting that one. I should be doing it right now, but I'm behind schedule due to this refit. And I'm not being too critical, but I will say this. Had we have not gone with such an astronomical and complicated and one-of-a-kind display base, both for the refit for Kevin and Kevin's TOS, he would be looking at some Starship porn right now in front of him as we speak. But it is what it is. And unfortunately, it won't be over when he gets the ship and the base, for both actually, because he will have to I'll be handing the ball off to him per se to do the mounting and the final connections.